AtHome's 2022 Halloween displays have been leaked. Let's take a look. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to yet another Halloween 2022 leak video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems to be that we are turning our attention to AtHome because just within the last couple of hours, what seem to be manual photos for AtHome have leaked out online, showcasing what Halloween displays they will have for the 2022 season. Now, normally every year, AtHome only has inflatable decorations, and it seems to be that that will be the same for the 2022 season. However, from these brand new manual photos that are leaked online, it looks like they're making a little bit of a bigger display out of their inflatables, and in my opinion, and a lot of other haunters, it is pretty cool and is actually looking pretty awesome. So without further ado, let's take a look at these brand new leaked manual photos showcasing AtHome's 2022 Halloween displays. Alright, so I'm going to start this off with the big photo and the big information by taking a look at the main display that is coming to us from AtHome for the Halloween 2022 season. This thing looks pretty incredible. Now, like I mentioned, this entire display is being made up of by inflatable decorations. There are no life-size animatronics or even any real decorations being put in this display, but I feel like that makes it kind of even cooler when you hear that it's only inflatables making up this entire display. Now, this thing is just really, really big. Obviously, we see that inflatables normally, Halloween inflatables at least, from Halloween companies, tend to be very, very tall. They can be anywhere normally from around 6 to even 30 feet tall, making a very large size. And it seems to be that some of those really big inflatables will be utilized in this main AtHome Halloween 2022 display. Now, at the front of this display, you have a very creepy looking castle archway. You have some kind of cartoony creatures in the windows with a ghost, what looks to be a vampire, a skeleton, and a Frankenstein. It looks like that you will be able to walk in the middle of this inflatable. Unfortunately, this display, you will not be able to do that because it's kind of just in the middle, and if you did walk through, you would just end up walking into other inflatables. But if you had this and owned it for your own use, it looks like that guests would actually be able to walk through the middle of the doorway, which is honestly a pretty cool and pretty interactive Halloween inflatable. Towards the left of that, we have a very generic one. It's just got some ghosts on it and a skeleton, just as Happy Halloween. You have a Baby Yoda one, which is not super Halloween-y, but it is there. You have some little bat, it looks like, in the back, like a bat inflatable. You have a cat holding a pumpkin. You have an Oogie Boogie all the way in the back. But probably my favorite inflatable that is in this main display is the giant stack of pumpkins that is all the way in the back. That thing seems to be around 15-20 feet tall, which is absolutely fantastic. I love the look of it. Although the pumpkins are a little bit cartoony and kind of friendly, it's still a very cool decoration and inflatable just because of how big it is. And I love the way that it towers over all of the other inflatables in this main display. Now, within these manual photos that got leaked out, there is actually kind of a layout sheet showing where all of the inflatables will go in this big main display for AtHome locations, and I will show that on the screen now as I am talking about it. This is kind of useful just because it gives you a little bit of a better look at the big display. Those other photos kind of they're very small and the things are really close together, so it's kind of hard to make out each individual decoration. But taking a look at this layout sheet, you can see everything. And taking a look at it, you can actually see that there is what looks to be an Alice in Wonderland Cheshire Cat inflatable. That's what it looks like. I might be wrong, but the smile and the hat are making me think it is a Cheshire Cat inflatable. You have a giant spider. You have a very, very cool giant tree decoration. I love the look of that. You can make out things that we could see, like the inflatable decoration, the ghosts, and the pumpkins, and then you can also make out some smaller things that really can't be seen in those main overall shot pictures. But overall, this main display for AtHome locations is honestly pretty cool. I'm never a huge fan of Halloween inflatables just because I don't buy them. I'm not in the market for them. And honestly, I don't really get the hype around inflatables. But these actually look pretty decent, especially those pumpkins, the Cheshire Cat, and the Oogie Boogie. Those are probably my favorite ones coming out for the 2022 season. I love seeing that AtHome is getting creative with displays and actually putting together a big display with all their inflatables being in the same area. I love the way it looks, and this is definitely a very awesome integration to AtHome locations for the 2022 season. Let's take a look at some other leaked displays within these manual photos. Alright, so I'm not going to make a huge deal about these two other displays just because they're very small and don't feature a lot of stuff, but I did want to mention them in some way. The first one we have is kind of what looks to be a display that will be set up on one of the giant racks that are in the store, kind of on one of the higher levels. We have 2 inflatable skulls. We have another one of the very big, like, inflatable tree decorations, and then you actually have a big spider, which is kind of cool. Like I said, this display is honestly really small, and there's not a lot to it, just a couple of things. It would be kind of cool if maybe there was, like, some black confetti on the kind of riser or floor, if you will, of this rack, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth and actually look like there was, like, dead grass, or, again, maybe just black confetti on the bottom. But nonetheless, it is kind of cool to see that there is a big tree on it, because that's one of my favorite inflatables coming out for this season. Now, the other one is even smaller than that one, and I'm not really going to say anything about it. Basically, what we have here is a pumpkin decoration with a black cat and a very classic vintage-looking boo sign that has kind of a raven on it. This was another one of those ones that'll be built on a rack, but this one looks like it'll be on, like, the bottom level, maybe below the other one that has the big tree on it. We're not really sure, but honestly, that's what it looks like. This one is just very basic. It just features some classic Halloween decorations. Definitely nothing that I would be interested in, but I did want to mention it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all of the leaked displays and manual photos that we have for At Home Halloween 2022 as of this moment. I'm a very big fan of the main display. I think that one looks really awesome, and I love that At Home is getting creative with ways to display their inflatable decorations, and I'm very excited to hopefully get to see an At Home location for the 2022 season. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more At Home Halloween 2022 videos. Goodbye.